It's been a year since we started here. Help us celebrate our 1-year podcast anniversary. Plus this week's Wet Spaghetti. Let's bring back the magic.
Bring back the magic for all to see. Together we'll discover all the joy and gold. In every story, there's a little bit of gold. Join our podcast adventure, let the magic unfold.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to another great episode of Bring Back the Magic podcast. This episode is brought to you by Kaufman and Lynn Injury Attorneys. If you are in the Orlando area or surrounding areas and you're looking for a great injury attorney, why not give them a call at 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333. Or you can go online at whenyouneedus.com. They're also one of our gold sponsors for our Festival of Friends event in May. So thank you very much to Kaufman and Lynn Injury Attorneys. I am one of your hosts. I'm Josh.
And I am his sister, Gina. For those of you just joining us, welcome aboard. If you are watching this on YouTube, please be sure to like, because we just assume you like it. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a minute of the magic. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please give us a follow. And as always, drop comments. We love to hear what you think of the episode.
Yeah, that sounds great.
We are here.
Nailed
Josh.
it.
We're here.
You did. It's a year later. It's time to quit. Is
year.
it time to hang it up yet? I don't know. But
I mean, it depends who you ask.
yeah, everybody else is like, yeah, remember that
Get out of here.
cast member drama episode?
Well, we've got a lawyer now, so.
Yeah, you're right. We need you.
Lawyer.
Just go on whenyouneedus.com.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
that. See how Jeff feels.
But
Like, let me consult my lawyer.
Like I said, it's been 1 year. 1 year podcast anniversary. Woohoo! Yeah. Yes.
It's our anniversary. It's been a year.
Remix.
We got And now we're gonna get clipped on YouTube.
Oh, stop.
Copyright
Oh, yes.
violation.
And then also, it's time to celebrate with some confetti.
Woo! For those of you listening on Apple Podcasts,
You
or
can't see
Spotify,
it.
it's the
You
confetti.
can't see
The
it.
people on YouTube come for the confetti.
Yes, they do. So I'm actually getting pretty psyched now for the Festival of Friends.
I've been psyched.
So, well, the thing is, I've just been overrun with things to do, and I'm like trying to get stuff like my normal day job, which I'm thankful for, and doing those things, doing my work. But I'm like, after that, I'm like, man, where do you fit all this time? But I've been really happy about the response to this stuff,
Yeah.
the people that are already going to go, the preparations for stuff, and getting those creative like juices flowing. Because now I'm like, I get to put together some of my more creative vibes and all into this, and be like, okay, I'm putting together, the guidebook for this and everything. It's just been a lot of fun. Plus, it lets me tap into my graphic design stuff, and that's all.
And I love seeing that because it's like, as much as AI is great, and obviously full disclosure, we use AI for a lot of things. I
don't know what you're talking about.
I do personally feel, though, my favorite things are the things that you do yourself, because I can just always, feel the difference in your creativity.
Yeah, because this one sucks.
I
Josh did that one.
I love it. It looks really good. No, I love the ones that you do. I'm just saying, don't undersell yourself for what your graphic talent.
No, I have many leather-bound books in my
But I
apartment.
will
Smells of
say,
rich mahogany.
I will say that I get messages frequently from those that are going to be attending Festival of Friends, just telling me how excited they are about it, how they can't wait. They're already picking out outfits for it, and they just can't wait till we release the itinerary, the formal itinerary, which we will be doing. So I am just psyched. It is exactly what we want it to be, which is a great group of people that are excited to be in Disney together, not have to worry about the headache of, okay, we're going to be in Disney at the same time. Okay, well, where can we meet up? Where can we do this? It's like we've taken the guesswork out of that, opt in, opt out. It's going to be great. This won't be our last one. So many of you have written saying, please don't let this be your last one. The schedule didn't work for me. So definitely, again, and maybe some mini festivals like we talk about.
Everything we're doing, it's like everything goes into it, to the creation of it. It's not like sitting here like, yes, Gina and I are about to retire on the tens of dollars that we have coming in.
Yeah.
It's about community, and that's what our podcast is about. And that's what I think some other podcasts you might look out there and everything, or content creators. I'm not downing anybody. Everybody's got their hustle. I said with us, I'm like, I'm about the community. I'll be honest with you. Like, my purpose of doing this isn't like, oh, I'm going to make a bunch of money and this is going to happen and all this stuff. That happens. Not going to turn it down.
Right. I'd love to make a living.
But
wage
I'd rather
off this.
know that I'm part of the community, not somebody siphoning off of it.
Right.
So it's saying, you go watch some content, you do things, but you see us in the park or something, you say hi, and we want to be friends with you. We don't want to be like, oh, I'm too busy right now. I'm recording content or something.
Yeah.
First of all, we don't do much content in the parks to begin with. We do most of it as a podcast, which is a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. Plus, I feel like, where did people get this time? I'm like, the editing alone and all. I'm like,
know.
I have no time in my day.
But I also just think it's like right now, I would refer to this as like, we'd love it to be a career. We'd love it to be a living wage. But for us right now, I'd say it's like a passion project. And that is the thing we want to come through is the passion, how much we love doing it, how much we love Disney, talking about Disney.
Or as my daughter prefers to it, as my hobby.
Right. I mean, essentially, so we make money, but I'm saying that right now, anything we're making is running the podcast. It's like, software is expensive, equipment is expensive. If you want to
What are we
be able to do any promotion. But I'm saying, I don't want this to be a thing about money.
I'm just
teasing. Talk about that too
I'm
much.
teasing.
But I do think that like right now, it's nice because whatever we're doing, it's getting put right back into it, whether it is buying, more challenge coins or things like that, that the promotional stuff. I'm really excited about the swag bags for Festival of Friends. I think
a lot's going into that. And there's gonna be a lot of cool items in there that basically it's all like, for full disclosure, like the Festival of Friends stuff, when people are, paying for an admission kind of thing or like a little ticket registration kind of fee, it's what it goes to. It just goes to what's in the swag bags and everything else. And they're worth more than what they're paying in there. So you're getting something for it. And you're also
$1 million condo.
Yeah, that's right. I brought many leather bound books. No, I'm like, you live with mom.
But I am going to say, if you are listening to this on the day that it premieres, because I don't want to always eliminate information just because somebody might be watching it later. Festival of Friends, you could be watching this when that's already, over.
Yeah.
But I do want to let people know we do still have space in the Festival Passport that you've created. And it is your target market because these are Disney content creators that are coming. So putting something in there, we encourage people, if there's a bonus discount that you can offer to our festival attendees, we'd love that for them.
Yeah.
But it's a great way to get yourself out in the space that, again, is the people that you want to see your product or what you have to offer. So thank you to those that have already signed on.
Oh yeah, thank you. Like
we've
we've got great sponsors already in there. Like, so we have Kaufman and Lind. They're, one of our sponsors. We got What's Your Passion Jewelry. They're one of our sponsors.
Main Street.
Dynamite Comics. Like there's Maddie on Main Street. There's Main Street Collective and a host of other people in there. I want to sit there and forget anybody.
We'll be naming them all.
Yes, you'll get all the deets on that later. But like just a few to let you know. But
seeing this before April 1st, I would say is a good
April 1st registration comes to an end.
Yes.
But it's like I said, I'm psyched about it. It's going to be an absolute blast.
And
when we get down to
celebrate our 1 year, even though our 1 year is March 27th.
Yes.
That was the day our first episode premiered.
Which day exactly? That's Friday. Okay, well, let's pretend it's Friday because this is going to air on Friday.
Yeah. March 27th.
Today, the
it
magic
doesn't matter because they're watching it the day after. It's still not the right day. But our 1 year anniversary. So I feel like Festival of Friends, even though it's taking place in May, is a great opportunity for us to also just celebrate because a lot of people attending have been major supporters of the podcast and real friends. But we will get into.
Well, so we'll get into all the specifics of that as we put stuff up online and everything and through the website. If you go to BBT Magic or BBTM Podcast. .com
or Bring Back the Magic Podcast.
Yeah, Bring Back the Magic Podcast. I don't know. I don't even know the website. It's never updated. I'll just be honest. I got so many things.
I made a blog.
Yeah, I know you saw your like here. This I saw the shade you threw in your dumb blog. Like at least I put some thought into it.
That was thought. There was just not. It didn't need to be.
It was like a sentence.
Yeah,
it was like
fine.
I'm sad.
So what do you remember about the poem?
It's not a status. It's
Nevermore.
a blog.
That's it.
It's not even a blue. It's not even a blue. It's a blog. It's a blue. Yeah, it was horrible. I was like, I saw that when I was away. I was like, now she logs in. She's never done anything.
A lot of praise.
Yeah, it got a lot of praise. I was like, I had to go in and make sure it's put in the right spot because you didn't
give me a tutorial. You just gave me a login. I had to figure it out.
I forgot that next time I'll spell it out in flashcards for you.
I thought I did pretty well for no tutorial, but thank you so much. My next blog will be about this moment right now. I would like to blog a little more because I do like writing.
Yeah, that's what I said. Put your sprinkled thoughts in there, and then nobody has to go through the perforation thing at the top of our stories where it's like 8,000 little dots.
Put it on the front page because I wasn't.
I call them sprinkled thoughts and also.
Because I used to say so. I'd start everyone.
And
so,
also.
So now it's longer. It's and also.
And also.
All right, so this is a fun anniversary.
I live in the land. I live in the land of
Speaking of living with the land, you mean,
Yes,
Josh?
living under the land.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so we've got a.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm hungry. You hungry? It's time for
Wet spaghetti.
Mamma mia.
From your favorite Italian podcast.
How's my mustache? Okay.
The wet spaghetti.
Yeah. So Gina, what's your wet spaghetti?
My wet spaghetti, actually, in honor of our podcast anniversary, I am going to be sharing a wet spaghetti from someone else, one of our good friends, which is Mark from We Wear Matching Shirts. You hear us talk about Mark and Stacey a lot. And Mark had sent me one, and I was like, can I share that? Because I think it's a great one. I had posted a clip from a Disney history page of people dancing at Pleasure Island, and you know that's part of our memories of Disney World. And so he had said he heard, for those who don't know wet spaghetti, we're throwing out things that we want, but framing them as rumors in hopes that Disney will pick them up. He heard that they were going to open a roller rink at Disney Springs and bring back the old Videopolis days and have 90s, and I would even add 80s music. So for the crowd that is still going strong as Disney lovers, like, hit us in the places that we love it. I am not prone to be out there dancing to today's music the same way. If you make a place for my generation, I'm going to be all about it, because
I
that's
feel like most of today's music can't be played at Disney.
Right.
either.
But it also, I will say, and something I noticed, because there was actually a study done about this in retirement homes, where when they changed the decor to an era, essentially, that was these people's like heyday, right? Let's say they grew up in the 60s. They made all the decor that started playing. It made them feel younger, because what makes us feel older is seeing like the generations.
Did they remove all the mirrors?
Anyway, but their vitals changed. Their vitals actually changed. Their blood pressure was changing, all those things.
Not just, you know me with jokes. So you're like, their
I
vitals
know.
changed. This brought back memories, and it killed them.
Anyway, but I'm saying, like, for me, if you put me in a place where it's 80s and 90s music, it makes me feel younger, because it makes me feel like how I felt at that time.
Yeah.
When you play today's music, I feel very out of touch. I feel
It's very
older.
nostalgic. It's nostalgic
Yeah.
and brings
So
you to a
I feel like
happier time.
to create something like that. So comment below what you think a good name for that roller rink would be, because we would love to hear your input as far as this wet spaghetti. And, we will share what we think is the best idea on our social media.
Nice. So also, it could be something put over at Pop Century or something. It sounds like, as you go through the decades of everything else, but you can also put it there. My wet spaghetti that I thought of in 3 seconds, because I didn't have anything, is I heard that Epcot is finally going to be adding another country, and it will be the much anticipated Greece country. Okay, so the country of Greece, and it will have a Hercules themed walk up. So with different, Greek-like foods and everything else, but it would have some specialty dessert stuff too in there. So you can have like like pain and panic stuff and everything else too. So I think it'd be a lot of fun, to do something.
So a Hercules walk up, not a Hercules attraction.
No, not a Hercules.
So you don't anticipate an attraction?
I don't anticipate an attraction, because I feel like it would go between Morocco and Japan. Okay, I don't think there's enough room for that. I also feel like it would clog up stuff. I feel like the things that are already existing in Epcot have the space for certain rides, and I feel like it wouldn't fit that way. I feel like just have an experience you walk through. I'd love to have a nice Greek restaurant in there, or even a walk up to
at least a sit down, because otherwise,
Could you imagine having though, like, it's a Hercules theme, like gyro or gyro, whatever you want to call it? I never get it right.
It's
So
Gyro.
Gyro. Yeah, because it always sounds like why do people get accents when they say something? It's like, it's like when the one goes, my mom, she makes a great fettuccine alfredo. And then it's like, I'm Irish. My mom does go, she makes a great corned beef and cabbage. It's like everybody's got an accent. No, but I feel like, yes, gyros.
Otherwise, if it's just food, it's really, is it worth having a whole pavilion when you have the kiosk during
because you have
the food festival?
Well, yeah, listen. So you have some kind of attraction. You could have a stage show or something in there. You could have some live
Remember back
entertainment.
before Norway was built, you didn't realize there was space for all that, and they put an attraction in there.
Well, maybe you do like old days and have it where it's like little Greek theater in there, but it's all the characters are played by dudes.
Yeah.
Like here, Megara looks awful. Yes.
I would love to see Greece come there. I think that's the number one that I hear mentioned when people talk about what country.
Well, the thing is, like I said, walk-ups and things where they're quick, fast foods. Like,
now I vote for an attraction.
Have you ever? Well, I don't want it to interfere with my underworld stuff. So I feel like if you have an attraction there.
I'm saying Greece have an attraction. It doesn't have to be Hercules theme. I just like to see.
Well, what's the point? Throwaway. Anyway, so the Greek walk-up having like a gyro and it's quick, like street food. Like when you go to the festivals and they have that in there.
Yeah.
I love it because I'm like, okay, this is something that's satisfying enough that you get it. You can eat it like it's your lunch or even like a dinner kind of thing where it's
Yeah.
filling.
I love
some of the
street food.
stuff you go around, you're like, this is tiny. It's
Right.
not filling me up, but it's great to eat around the world, whatever festival it is.
But I would also like to say a Hercules attraction would not interfere with your underworld because your underworld is a villains themed and it's not Hercules, it's Hades. And so to have the counterpart be a heroes attraction,
I
Hades,
thought about that first with having a Hercules attraction, but
the
I also,
muses.
but I
Zeus,
also
the
think,
muses, Hercules, it could be all about that.
yeah, you can do stuff with all different Greek gods and
Maybe
everything else.
Muses karaoke. You could bring back the thing where you record in the booth and everything.
Oh yeah, Sounds Dangerous or whatever it was.
Sound, sights and sounds.
Sights and Sounds.
I have the videotape.
That's what I
Even me.
said. Oh,
Oh.
we have a videotape of that?
Well, there's the one we watched of me the other day where I was singing Whitney Houston badly. And I'm going to tell that story real quick. That it was when in Hollywood Studios, back when it was MGM.
Wait a minute. Do you still sing it good now?
No.
Okay, so just
Around the
okay,
corner.
gotcha.
Remember that corner where like the shops are? Like if you're like that corner block, like near Hollywood and Vine,
Mhm.
and the shops are there. And on that corner, there's still, I think, the sign that says Sights and Sounds, but
Mhm.
there was a booth there. You could go in. And it was, I remember Daddy was like, oh, sing a Whitney Houston song because Daddy loves Whitney Houston. And I was like in my prepubescent braces era, like I was probably like 13 years old. And I remember when, and they wouldn't, and I had to wear this leather jacket. Horrible.
I remember
Alcanus.
this. I'm like,
Alcanus.
yeah.
But Dad's like, play this. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. Nobody can hear it because I'm in a recorder. We'll watch it when we get back to the place. We were on a trip, me and Dad. And then the lady says, do you want to play it before we leave? And I'm like, no. And Daddy's like, yeah. So they played it in the place on all the TVs. And I remember there were all these cute older guys there. And I was mortified because I'm like, I want to dance to somebody. It's so bad. It's so bad. Even good singers struggle with Whitney Houston. And I'm not a good singer. So bad. And then I remember they were so sweet and like clapped for me and everything.
Oh, it's like Ariana Les Grande.
I was so mortified that Daddy made them play that in the store. And I was like, the trauma.
Whitney used to, not Houston.
Whitney Houston, we have a problem.
Yes, Houston, we're going down. Oh my goodness. That's terrible.
She still sings better than me,
Yeah, you're right. God, we're all.
even now.
Lord, I apologize. Oh, she's has an angelic voice right now. I'll tell you that.
She does.
And always did.
Yeah.
But at any rate, so this episode is all about our 1 year
Right.
of podcasting
Mhm.
and what this Disney community has done for us and how it's made us feel, especially in a time of our lives where we didn't expect to be where we were. We were both working,
So I was going to say, let's take it back to start of where we were a year
Yeah, so if you
ago.
take it back to the start, is we had always talked about doing a podcast. We'd always sat with each other and said, you know what, we love Disney.
Pipe dream.
We feel like we just always put it off. We're like, people are like, oh, we hear your banter back and forth from each other. Why don't you guys just do a podcast? We're like, you know what, maybe we will. Never had the most time because obviously I was always bogged down with things. I was always busy. I was either out of town for something or whatever. And finally, by no choice of my own,
Or mine.
I've, jobs changed. We'll say that nicely.
I lost mine.
Yeah.
I lost mine. I was
So,
eliminated.
other than being thrown away like trash.
I was eliminated based on reverse nepotism.
Yes. So, leaving that job because they made me.
I decided to walk away.
And sitting there and
because
saying,
they
"What do you
boxed
do?"
myself up and opened the door.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Like,
like
so
that, but
basically at this point, what do you do?
That's dramatic.
So we just said, why not? We tried it. We did some stuff.
I was having surgery January of last year.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like locked down, not able to do anything. So we talked a lot during that time. And obviously I rely on you heavily for all the technical stuff. I would literally just be talking into my cell phone and that would be it. And nothing's wrong with that. I think there's a lot of people that do.
Cellcast. Yeah.
Right. I'd be doing that. I don't know any of that stuff. But I did feel comfortable saying, look, I know Josh and I will never run out of things to talk about. And really, I will say the name Bring Back the Magic came from the main driving force of us was not just like, we want to talk about Disney. It was because we just felt like there was some little essence of Disney that we craved more from the past than we were getting in the present.
Mhm.
And again, we've got to talk, a lot of that I think happened under the brief Chapek era. And so we were like, oh, where's the magic? Like, we know it's there. We see it at times, but it used to be blanketed over the entire place. Like, when are they going to bring back that magic? There was a lot of things we were saying that felt like you were getting a big idea of what was going to happen, and then they'd scale it down and be like, okay, this will be fine. They were removing perks. They were removing, and it just felt like, even down to like park reservations. Now you can't even go on a whim and things like that, that I'm sure they have their reasons for why they created. But we were like, but where's the magic? The magic was what always kept us coming back. And then
it's the
Epic
overall
was
feeling.
opening, and we were seeing all that. So that's kind of what sparked bring back the magic. We knew that was the main thing that we wanted to.
Yeah, what's the feeling when you go to the parks and all? We still get the butterflies and we get all that stuff and the excitement at Disney, but it's like sometimes it's like it's a struggle occasionally when you see certain things that aren't the way they used to be, or like people aren't as magical. Or it's like I always said, I went to Disney World for years and years and years because I didn't want to deal with a-holes. I didn't. I'm like, I go other places I had to go. It didn't matter what resort it was. There was always somebody that was going to be like a jackass or something like that. By the way, I didn't say TV 14, but it is. Can't win them all. But it's just like, I didn't have to deal with that. Now more and more, there's more. And about down in Disney, I love Disney. I still love going. This happens a very seldom amount. But you might have an encounter that's not so magical. And you didn't think from the happiest place on earth, like this most magical place on earth, that you'd have these kind of things. And it's even hard because it's like, it's not necessarily like getting into the cast member thing again, because I don't want to get clipped. And then all of a sudden, we learned our lesson. Sorry. I'm sorry for telling the truth.
Let me consult our lawyer and see if you're allowed to talk about
whenyouneedus.com. So it's just, it's gotten to the point where I think they fell off a little bit about what the mission was. It was the why. It was the why of the Walt Disney Company. Why do they do what they do? It's because to make a feeling, to sell an experience, to sell a dream, if you will. So I still, like I said, go to the parks, enjoy them and everything. And I'm just like, I see little things that could be added here and there that are simple. And it costs nothing to be kind. That is the one thing in life that will always remain a constant, is it costs zero to be kind to somebody. And that's
Disney is way too expensive to go if you don't like it. So there's no part
you
of
spend
us
a lot
that's
of
like,
money.
I don't like it here. I'm going to keep coming back. Obviously, we love it. It is a great investment to go to Disney once, let alone multiple times a year. But so that's where we started with Bring Back the Magic. And we were in 2 different spots. We were remotely connecting, that Josh set it up. I think that especially if you get into a couple episodes within or into the season, it really does look like we're in the same place because we lit it. And even our family members were like, where are you guys recording? And I said, oh, I'm in my basement. Josh is in his basement. And it really did look, I think, pretty believable that we were in the same place. Not that that mattered. There's plenty of people that remote cast and what have you. Most people do in a lot of ways. But then Josh said, I'm going to build us this studio. I'm going to expand it. And then we started doing everything, which is Jepcot Studios that you see now. And so that changed the game a little because it is nice being in the same space. Also, this software allows us to accidentally talk over each other without clipping our voices, which is the struggle in anything remote. But it's hard because I always say, my favorite is when we're sitting here and we're just talking to each other. No disrespect to our audience, but like I like when we just talk to each other because I feel like that's the natural conversation. There are times, obviously, you get caught up in thinking, well, what am I saying to my audience? And that makes sense. But when it's you and I just talking, I feel like that's when it's the heart of the brother-sister podcast. It's the memory shared. It's the, hey, this is what I like. This is what you like. They may not always overlap. You might be like, I can't stand cheeseburger spring rolls, as is evident on your shirt, themeparkchuckle.com. And I might be like, I actually think they're okay. You might be like, Stitch doesn't bother me. And I'm like, I can't stand him. Like, there's plenty of things that we don't have to agree on. And that's what I think is also great about the show, is that we want our audience to know you don't have to agree with us. Oh. Like, you can love something tremendously.
That's the beauty of
and vice versa.
Of discussion and having these little things, because you can trade ideas and you say, oh, I really enjoy this. Not everybody loves the color purple, or the color blue.
The movie?
No. Yes, yes, they all have something against Oprah Winfrey. No, but it's like
wildly successful.
Enough of Oprah Winfrey at her pizza parties. So here we go.
We couldn't be us without a canceled episode.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, you know what? What are you going to do? Take away my viewers? Look, so here you go. So I will say it.
Talk to our lawyer.
Jeff, we need you. Whenyouneedus.com.
Right. Right now.
But having discussions about things you like or don't like everybody has different tastes. So you can say, yes, like some people like cheeseburger spring rolls. Some people are real people that don't have gas station palates. Okay. So I love horrible foods. I just want to put this out there. I love the most greasy, nasty, disgusting things. And like, I am the person that orders $40 worth of Taco Bell food and eats it all.
I really could go for Taco Bell right now.
I could too, but I've been on a
Taco
diet
Bell,
for a
please
week.
sponsor us because that Nacho Supreme dip that they
By
have
the way, you
going on
might
right
see
now.
me shrinking over the next X amount of episodes
face looks
because
thinner
I'm
by the
actually. What do you say? I go, you're sitting here.
In that video, she
Okay,
did.
thanks. I'm still fat. Still fat over here. Good news.
I don't see
Samesies.
you the way that you see it. I don't see you the way you see you. I think you look good.
No, the thing is, I got that dad belly, not dad bod.
I think your
Dad
tummy
belly.
looks smaller.
Yeah, that'll happen when you're dieting, but I appreciate that. But it's just like I said, I eat so many different things, and people get on me about the cheeseburger spring rolls thing. 'Cause people see this shirt, by the way, walking in the park, because
And they stop because they think it's going to be
They think it's
positive.
like celebrating it, and they're like, cheeseburger spring rolls. All right, Meg, you didn't read this, did you? And they're
That
like, why? I go,
reminds me-
cheeseburger spring rolls are the Beverly of Magic
That
Kingdom.
reminds me of a shirt that I had back in the day when we used to go to the bar, and it said "a loser" really big across it. And guys would come up, they're like, "You're not a loser." And when you read underneath, it says, "Is trying to hit on me." Like,
That's pretty
that-
gutsy to wear a shirt that just says a loser
all right,
on
I
it.
know.
That seems like something you would do too. It's like that's very
I
on
love
brand.
in the early 2000s, late 90s. I love those shirts that had like little sayings. I actually just found some old music videos that Karen and I did in your old room, and it was like random Disney related. Karen and I, that was my old best friend, and literally we were in Josh's room in this video, and I came across it unexpectedly when I was going through old home tapes, and we would go to like House and Town Center's a mall in Maryland, and we would go there all the time. And I remember we just walked in. I don't know what store we were in. If it was
Gadzooks.
no, it was probably Spencer's, but we found Disney like Halloween costumes and we just decided to buy them because they were on sale. And then we decided to come home and make music videos of us dressed in these costumes. So I'm Esmeralda. Guys, you're never going to guess where this story is going from the details, okay? If I told you
I was probably there.
you were taping.
Yeah,
I
I, was
bought
like,
it.
I don't even know where this
But
is going.
just I want you to know that these pieces of this story are giving very pull it out of a hat. I'm dressed as Esmeralda with a wig and everything. She is dressed as Jasmine. Okay. We then made a music video to the song Cherish by Madonna. Also with cardboard cutouts Josh had of Stormtrooper and Hobie the Clown.
I remember the Homie the Clown thing. Homie don't play that.
And I was like, could you guess this is where this story is going? No. And then we did a costume change. We made a bunch more, but like that was like,
I was willing to bet it went more like Jason Derulo. Yeah.
But yes, so like the most random, like, you know what we were thinking? Hey, we should go buy these costumes and then we should go in Josh's room, make him videotape us dancing around. You know, it's a great song for Esmeralda and Jasmine, Cherish by Madonna. And we should probably incorporate Josh's Stormtrooper and Hobie and the Clown.
Yes, this is, that's exactly how Stanley Kubrick got his start.
A Clockwork Orange Bird.
Yeah, right.
It's my
Oh, how very
masterpiece.
Spielberg of you guys.
Yes, but it was so random.
You
And
know
then
what?
we
The
just-
Hunchback was missing a balding clown
Yes, tell me don't play that. But it was just
with a
so
sock
funny.
it smacks people
but-
with.
But yeah.
Oh
so
my
that was
goodness.
very funny.
But no, one of the biggest thing about doing the podcast was like the friends we met along the way and gotten to really become real friends with. Like, so we talk to a lot of people back and forth, and it's like it feels like you've had these relationships for many
What's the
years.
first friendship that you remember making via the podcast? Like, who's the first person you?
Rob and Teresa.
Yeah.
So Rob and Teresa, because we were in Epcot, and I remember being at GO82,
Mhm.
and you handled all the social media stuff. I had no interaction with anybody at the time, and we were in there. It was you, myself, and Stephanie, right? I think all three of us were there.
Okay.
And you were like, "Oh, Rob and Teresa are in the park. I'm going to meet up with them." I was like, "Oh, great!" So we go out by Poop and Walt. And I'm like, all right, easy place to meet. Sorry, Walt, for spying on you while you're pooping. But we met them there, and instantly it was like, and they were Disney bounding, Donald and Daisy, I do believe, that day.
Yeah.
And they were just the sweetest people. And we were like, this is like old friends.
And it's so true, like what you're saying, though, because it's like, Rob, I got to give props because you don't know any of these people when you're first connecting just on Instagram. It's like you just know their Instagram handles. You don't know them as people like yet. But it's like Rob was a huge supporter of us. He was always telling everybody, don't forget new episode. And like just on his own was interacting.
That we
And
always
when we got to
appreciated.
meet them, it was so great because it's like, and now we can say we personally have met you and know you. And we got to know more about them as far as
And their
like, all
content and all that
Disney
stuff I
bounding.
said on
Yes, more Magic
TikTok.
Please.
Yeah.
If you watched the first episodes, they were more Disney Please at the time, and then they became more Magic Please, PLZ. Obviously,
Because they're from the streets. The
right,
Z is from
exactly.
the streets.
But we got to learn all about them and their family, and it was just so great. And then I remember, obviously, we were matching shirts, Mark and Stacy, we mentioned them before, and
Yeah.
just fantastic supporters from day one, universally Disney and everything, which is Dylan. He was always commenting on our
Callie and the
videos, still
Kingdom.
does.
Yeah.
Callie, I connected to via Dylan over our disdain of Stitch. And it's so funny because you think, again, you're just seeing the same names tagging on different things. You're like, oh, we like this. You go see their stuff, blah, blah. But then there's this hit that I've never experienced in any other avenue of social media. Not in the comic industry, not in any other fandom that I have, not in Backstreet Boys fandom, anything you like on social media. where
Backstreet Boys.
These
fandom.
people have become like our real friends, like not our Instagram friends. They're like our
Yeah.
real friends. Like I talk to Callie every single day. Callie and her sisters from Three Sisters Do Disney. Sarah, the park topic. Sarah in the UK. Sarah, Disney Magic Every Day, just started her own podcast. Very
I'm so
exciting.
happy for her.
Check that out. Crystal, obviously, Thoughtful Magical Mama. Like there's so many names. Then the other podcasts that we could go into. And obviously we would love to name every single person. But like you guys, Rachel was the only person in this community, Rachel and
We
Rachel
knew
Magic,
previously.
that we knew before, that we had met on a cruise. So like coming into the space, it was like, oh, okay.
And in
we
her
know one
defense, she
person.
knew how awesome we were before.
Right. She can vouch for us. She can vouch. But
No, we had a
literally-
blast with her because that Disney cruise, like I remember just laughing
Right.
our butts
And I
off.
said, I want to be able to name every single person, but they're inevitably you're going to leave
You're gonna
someone
miss
out. So you
people in
guys
there.
know how much we love you. You know, the other podcasts, we support all of you guys. Those of you, I apologize in advance for anyone that we didn't just name your names, but I'm saying like from the beginning, these friends that we knew as social media friends, like I said, there's no community like the Disney community like that. I really do believe that we were talking about this also like Disney cruises. When you step on a Disney cruise, it's a very different feeling than stepping on any other boat because you just feel immediately connected to everyone else there in some capacity because you feel this warmth that's not there on other boats.
Well, they announce your
Sponsor us,
names.
Disney.
They announce your names when you come on there.
But
you
it's
know.
like you feel like we all have this in common because for all the ways that Disney families and adults get judged for that fandom, you know you're in this safe space where it's like everyone here likes that same thing. Everyone is on board. Where like it's like a weird group therapy kind of
Yeah.
session that you become like, hey, we all love this. We all have this same fandom. And I love it. So that we're not just saying it to be like the nice thing to say. This is just what Josh and I talk about all the time. Is
Mhm.
like this, you guys, I'm not going to get emotional, but you guys came in our lives at a time we really needed it.
Mm.
Like when we were, and I feel like Derek and Maddie said a similar thing because they were also around the same time.
Yeah,
starting
they just
Disney Trip
celebrated their
Report,
1 year. Yeah,
that we
from
were in a
Disney
place
Trip
where we were
Report
like,
pod. Yeah,
what are we going to do? Like I've said it before, like the rug was ripped out from under us. So many changes, physical things we were going through, like with me with my surgery and, you know, different health things within our family members and whatnot. And so many emotional struggles and dynamics of people.
I had a
And it was like,
hangnail.
what-
Yeah, it was.
What are we going to do? What are we going to
Yeah.
do? And we don't get me wrong. We have great friends and family in our lives prior to
Yeah.
this that we still value every bit as much. But then to all of a sudden be like, this was maybe part of the plan that, you know, you whatever you believe in, but like God's
Yeah.
plan that it's like, he says, maybe the thing that you're seeking isn't what I'm going to give you just yet, but I promise you that there's something that is going to come with this that you didn't even know was
Yeah.
going to be the biggest
Well, it
part of
saved
it.
me from opening my Only Toes account. And I was like, oh.
But I'm saying I value the friendships, the
Hence the
connections, the
hangnail.
support. Even if these friends never watched another episode or listened, I
Yeah, and the
value
thing
it.
is, it's like I'm so appreciative of everybody who has watched this, everybody who's appreciated the things we put out. If it's just them, it's fine forever. It's not ever going to make me upset about that because I'm like, I love that interaction and I love the people we're already talking to. It doesn't need to be millions of people. That's always nice, but it doesn't need to be. It's just so nice being able to connect with Disney community people. And that's what it is. You're building a community within a community and reaching out to the broader Disney community. And that's what I was saying before about there might be content creators. I don't knock anybody for their hustle, how they do stuff and everything else. But it seems like over time now, I think Missy put up a whole series about this stuff. It's like certain content creators get invited to things. Or I'm not asking for invites to anything. I'm not. But it's just the fact. But the fact is, it's like, it seems like it's almost become complacent now. Like where it's like, it's an expectation. It's expected. They're like, oh, well, I got to go on this. And it's now, they are something I never want to be and develop an ego based on like the invites to different stuff. Oh, I got to see this. I got to be hosted by Disney and they don't care. Or they go to an event and they're like, yeah, this isn't my thing or something like that. And they're not really promoting it in the light. Yeah, they might be honest about something, but don't invite the ones that have nothing to do with those events. Like if you're saying if it's a restaurant that's opening and somebody's not a foodie person, you're not going to like the things that are on the menu, but somebody that can appreciate that, send them there and have them give an honest take for people that are foodies. So you feel like, I don't know where I've trailed off on this thing, but it's like, I don't get it, because I feel like no matter how big this podcast got or how it stayed the same, I'd be the same person, because that's who I am as a person. I'm not trying to pitch myself to anybody. I just feel like that's what you're supposed to be, because I'm not going to make myself like something I'm not on the podcast when I'm a different way when I'm off of it. Like saying, oh, I'm this friendly person. But if you come up to me, they're like, oh, no, go away. I'm like,
I think that's very important. I think that also that brings.
By the way, Paige, Mr. Morrow is one of the best people in the world, because he's always sweet everywhere you see him.
Yeah.
So he never gets in these conversations.
I always hear great things about him super enthused. I've heard great things about the people from allears.net. So there are some really great people out there, and we hope they see the way. We understand going up and interrupting somebody in the middle of a meal or whatever.
Not talking about it. If you're just bumping them in the park.
But if you're seeing someone in the midst, I mean, that's where your following comes from. That's why you got these invites, is because people follow you. So it's like, don't
you're trying to talk to the public, and that's who's coming up to you.
Well, this goes into a good, I think,
you're not screaming into the ether.
In review of the last year, another thing being, prior to the podcast, you had developed these cast member appreciation coins that were for our use, for our trips.
Basically for my use,
That was it. Josh was like, I'm going to give you some and give them out. And we really just, if we're talking about bringing back the magic, we weren't even doing the podcast yet, but it was something, again, that was on our mind all the time, and saying, I've got these coins. I want to give them out as a token of appreciation to these cast members, because we are seeking it's not about giving away free stuff. And we say this all the time. It's not about like you have to act like you are Mickey Mouse, in the flesh. It's just being like what we feel like when you said the why, like somebody that's there demonstrating that just like Disney vibe. It's just a vibe.
It's like raising a child, Gina. It's the same thing. When you find something great that they do, you nurture it and you encourage it.
You did that. And then when we started talking about them, the amount of people that really latched onto the idea and were like, I want to do that. Because people sometimes, it's like with charity. You say people don't know how to get involved in something. So if you make it as simple as, oh, you can round up to the nearest dollar and give this big corporate entity a chance to have another write-off. But like, they just want to feel like they're doing something. Like, just tell me, like, if I'm dropping things off to like a donation bin, it's like, well, at least I know I'm doing something. Or maybe you have like an auto debit of somewhere, like I give the World Food Bank every month. It's like, no. But if we like things like that. So someone's just like, I want to know. I can't come up with something on my own, but knowing that there is something, just show me the way. Show me the way. So how many people jumped on board of these challenge coins? And I always refer to it as our magical movement. Like, thank you so much for being part of this, because we do want to put out the appreciation for them, because that is what sets Disney apart, is the cast members. Like, when you go to Universal, no disrespect, there's some amazing people that work there.
Yeah, but there's also people who are like, hey, parade's coming, move it.
Right. But I'm saying, so it's not about the people who they are outside there, but what they're demonstrating, that is a big part of what we need in the Disney park. So it is because we value them so much that we don't want to see that go to the wayside. And I do think it all starts from Disney. Obviously, that whole conversation started with, what do we want to see Josh tomorrow, take note of. But that was an exciting part of this past year.
I'm very hopeful for that, because I feel like he definitely has that excitement. Because remember, after years, I want to get on a different thing, but it's like,
I know our next episode will do all about what.
But it's like Josh himself, it seems like he's still got that excitement and like just passion for the Disney company itself. So it's not just about like, oh yeah, you're going to come into a lot of money in a new position. You're going to be a very powerful person in entertainment. And you're like, okay, but it's more about the fact he loves seeing guest reactions. He loves interaction. He loves interacting with people, and the cast members love him. So it's like, remember, a Disney company is not just the parks. It is so many things, from merchandising to network TV to all these other things and properties they have around the world. And everything comes together. It's a ginormous company. So it's not like this is the only thing he has to focus on, but I think he'll do it so well and do it justice. And that's what I'm really looking forward to with him.
Sorry, I was just looking up something for Festival of Friends that I wanted to mention, but
by the way, May 15th to the 17th.
Yes. But yeah, our next episode, we plan to do all about the things Josh has done so far, which amazingly, there's a lot to talk about what he's done. We did an episode about what we hope he does, but there's already things to talk about that he's doing that are really
good. Yeah, Joshes are doers.
So on that note, let's talk about the things we're giving ourselves credit for from this past year.
Yeah.
Because I don't need proof. I am delusional about these things, and I'm okay with that, because it doesn't change anyone's life, whether it was our doing or anyone else's, but give us a win. Give us a win and let us tell ourselves that we had. I'm going to have a credit. You're going to have a credit.
Okay, cool.
My credit is the Grand Floridian Tea coming back when it did.
Yeah.
I am standing firm that part of my crusade of getting that back, since it's been closed pre-COVID, that I had something to do with people getting on board of, yes, we want this, we want this, we want this. Does
No, I
that
think
need to be true? Does that need to be proven true? No. Do I need proof of whose idea it was if they had ideas way before I ever post? I do not care. I will tell myself, yes, Gina, you can make a difference in the world in your crusade for the Grand Flirting Tea. Also, I feel, and I haven't watched all our episodes in a long time, like going back to the old ones, I feel like there was an episode where I mentioned, and again, it's hard to differentiate because you and I talk every day. So what was on the podcast, what was off the podcast, I can't always remember.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there was an episode where I said, and why does everywhere have an Alice in Wonderland tea except for Disney? Why don't they have an Alice in Wonderland?
You're like, I mean, do it to that.
And then here we have it. So that I will happily give myself a point for. And
But it
say
was your
yes.
own birthday.
Yes, I will give myself a point for that.
A very
So-
million birthday.
And I want to say that.
Yeah, good.
So for you,
For me, what? What was I? Right
I'm
about?
giving you 12% of the credit. I am giving you credit that the fact that when they went back to Villain's Land and they already had the plans for a Rescuers Medusa, which don't get me wrong, I'd love the idea of touching an IP that they haven't been really giving a lot of focus to. And then we heard, oh no, they're changing it and they're going to make it Hades theme. I'm sorry. I know I'm your sister and I know this is delusional, but I cannot believe that there's not even a chance that one of your many videos about the underworld got seen by somebody and they said, you know what, there is a lot we could do with that idea. And I really hope they take some of your things because what we said about Wet Spaghetti, it's not about getting the credit. Obviously, we're celebrating ourselves in this episode anyway. 1 year. Happy anniversary.
I
to us.
told you that I hope the speakeasy happens with Bald Mountain.
I love the idea too of, I think you had said, like when you walk in, there being like a kind of projection thing on the wall and that you could rotate through other villains. So it'd be a great way to be like, it's the underworld. It's Hades' place, but other villains hang out.
Well, it's
there.
like the what was it in Beetlejuice where he said the Lost Souls room or something? He opens up and it's like all this stuff and something floats to the front. You're like, you can do these things. Everything's so
so many
interactive. Look at the things you can do just on your own that you don't need Disney to do. You can be on Snapchat with a filter that makes it look like something's happening. You're like, it's not hard.
No, yeah. I could
Recognition and
see.
cameras and all, they can do things too. You make you look like a villain when you walk up to something.
Disney does well too is cues these days. Like they do really put a lot of effort into the cues, which is something that wasn't as big a deal before. Like there were times, the cue space was cool, but we remember getting on Journey
That's what we
into
had to do to Peter
Imagination.
Pan and all because
back
it's
in
such
the
a
day,
long
yeah.
wait. They had to make
Peter
something
Pan.
in there.
But when you think, even when you get up to Space 220 and there's the old school like rotating vegetables from Horizons. But I do think that could be a really cool part of like the hostess stand is this big screen on the wall and it just keeps like showing a different character that's like, oh, saying something to you and it rotates through enough of them that like you'd really have to be standing there a long time to get a repetition. But I think that could be really cool. They could do things like they do on Animator's Palette.
I think if you gave me, and this is not conceit, this isn't ego, this is anything like that. I said, I think if you gave me 5 minutes with Josh tomorrow, being a Disney veteran of 40 plus years, okay, being in there with him and saying, look, I've been to all these parks. I've experienced darn near every single thing on property, minus maybe a couple things that don't interest me. And I'm like, I'm not going to be like, oh, they updated this circle vision here. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I don't really, the circle vision ain't my thing.
Who the hell cares?
Yeah, right? So I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
minus that. But I could go up and say, listen, I've got 2 different ideas. I've got the underworld with Hades, making it this thing. Trust me, the Wall of Flames with the wing challenge and stuff, and wings are easily mass produced, done things, tossed up in things. They're easily done. It's something you could do a great job with. And then saying about oodle lollies. And I think
I was going to
oodle
say, the
lollies-
next thing I want you to start making
Yeah,
videos
so-
about is oodle lollies. I'd love to see
It has a perfect home outside the UK, sitting there between United Kingdom and Canada.
the old
right?
Millennium Village.
Yeah, Millennium Village Festival Center right there. And you just put an archway in there. You can go and make a facade on the outside that looks like a castle that you're walking up to. But you also have an archway, but that building could kind of stay the same way because it's framed in. You've got enough space in there to put a kitchen, put a long like banquet hall kind of things. It's perfect for it. I mean, what are they going to save it for? I'm like, we're filming another episode of America's Funniest Videos. You want your t-shirt? I get it. That's neat and all. But I'm like, come on now. Does it need to be? I mean, the Millennium Village was cool when you went in there and had
Millennium
all,
Village was very cool.
but it had all the different kinds. It was like, I think it was 2 floors
It's just
too.
like freaking,
But it
Wonderful
was-
Life is just sitting there.
Well,
like-
I will tell you this. So for oodle lollies, you go in, you have another restaurant that seats a lot of people. It's another upcharge. Disney makes a lot of money on it because figure the stuff that people already spent a lot of money on. If you're going to go to Space 220 and spend like $70 a person or whatever on that, at least, like, why not why not go to a stage show and have something where it's like an all you can eat banquet, very much like what's the one that we go to? Help me over.
Time?
No, Fort Wilderness.
Oh, a hoop-de-doo.
Hoop-de-doo review. So you have like this, but better food. Like, no offense, hoop-de-doo, but I'm like, just better food. You come out there more like a mix between the two, that and Liberty Tree, and you have a nice banquet kind of stuff across this, and you have those long
They're
tables.
doing this so well on the Disney cruise ships, these dinner shows now. So I do feel like it's like the best of both worlds. You have like a character show.
You have no Robin Hood IP anywhere.
Yeah, you have the characters mill around maybe in between the shows and come out and do like meet and greets, or maybe there's something on the way out that you get. But I do feel like that is such a clever idea that I pray that they see it and do something with it. Because again, Robin Hood is a very, very popular IP that really has nothing. Like I just was showing pictures to Kinsley, our niece, the other day, and she saw a picture of Christiane with Prince John. She's like, oh, he used to walk around, and it's like you don't see him the way that you.
Well, you could put it over there and say you have some character meet and greets that are around one side of it. It's in a like I said, the location couldn't be any better.
Yeah,
because I'm like, unless they're saving that because they have some kind of grand plan to put another country somewhere there and be like, okay, there's gonna be something in there.
There's room for other countries.
I will tell you this, it's a better use of it because honestly, what are you putting in there? I mean, like,
I love it. I think it's unique. I think it's fun. You know what's also great about it is that is something that if you're a local, you would come to the park that day just to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you'd say, like there's certain things that people go, oh, I'm just gonna pop in. Like that is a destination thing. Somebody would go, and you need something that is family friendly in Epcot because a lot of the rides have shifted to things that not the whole family can ride. We've talked about that where they put like Mission Space is not for everyone. Guardians is not for everyone. Even Soarin' isn't for everyone. So to have something that's family friendly in there is a plus because a lot of times with World Showcase, it feels like a more Disney adult area. There's a couple attractions, but even again, you get into Ratatouille and some people with motion sickness can't do that.
I feel like it's also with, like I said, this would be a stage show, but not looking up at a stage. It'd be like in the middle.
Right.
So it's middle. It's like,
no,
it's
like I said, like they do on the Disney cruise ships.
So be in the middle, much like you have like that Arendelle or one of those kind of things like on the Wish.
Yep.
And you go through and you, not only that, but you could have things, if you want to make it a la Prince John and everything, you can have almost like Waldorf and Stadler. You can have him sitting up in a balcony kind of thing really off of it. And
save it for the videos, John.
Yeah. So you can have those things. But I've thought of a lot of different things for
you
that.
Have great ideas.
But I feel like as a package deal, what is everybody in Disney? They're like, okay, I'll get this, but not this, because you've got to pick and choose. I'm sorry, not everybody has the biggest budgets. I'm one of them. And I'm like, look, if I'm going to spend my money, I want to get the most for it. So you say, okay, this is an all you can eat. You're like, okay, this is a great opportunity. I could go fill up here, have my dinner, and maybe you have something where you offer some other little extras to things, but it's a nice full meal. And you're paying X for it. So you're like, okay, I'm not going to this one. I'm being nickel and dime for this, that, and the other. And you can make pretty solid options for the price point. And you can be like, it's a $60, $70 price tag for adults. And you can say kids or, the $35, $40 kind of deal. And people will go because it's Disney and it's an experience because you're not just sitting, just eating. And when you're just eating, granted the beer garden gives you a show with it. It's a lot of fun. Food's not bad there. It's actually pretty good. And it's a buffet and you can go up there and get as much stuff as you want. That's great. It's pricey. It's very pricey. It's probably one of the more pricier restaurants in there. And people don't realize that. I mean, I think it was like two of us or something. It was $100 and some for me and my buddy Kevin just to go and eat there.
Well, I mean, all you can eat, they got to price it.
Yeah, but you got to price it accordingly. But I think people would definitely dig something like that.
Especially with a character thing, because there's no characters, obviously, and it's more authentic German, which is nice to have in World Showcase. But to have something that fits in that spot, that brings it, and if you wanted, I mean, like, you could have, even we've talked about mashups all the time. Like, you could be utilized, but there could be another character that's brought into the story somehow if they wanted to. I know that's a long shot, but you just never know. They could use it for special events and things still.
Well, you can skin it too. That's the thing is like you can go through and say it's Oodalollies, but then like much like the Nightmare Before Christmas takes over Haunted Mansion.
Or takes over the Frozen show during Jollywood.
Exactly. Or you could go through and do this. You can say Oodalollies becomes Tangled or something like that. And you say, okay, now it's a Tangled show this night and it's during some kind of festival thing.
Yeah, because it's not that hard to change because especially like kind of the vibe for those two movies especially would be very easy. That festival. Hunchback. Great opportunity to bring back the Hunchback show would be in that dining, the dinner theater. Have the whole festival, Feast of Fools, a feast of fools. Hello, everyone having like a meal there. Like,
Well, I feel like it's just also, even though there's a lot of restaurants, quote unquote, in Epcot.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more people than there is restaurants and reservations and things. And adding to where people can eat, people already paid to get in there. Disney doesn't make money off of the attractions people are going to in there, right? They make money off the other things they spend on. So if you're spending to go to something else and getting into a restaurant
yeah,
and you're putting more money, it behooves them to do so.
I agree.
And then there's the festival booths, and then there's merchandise, because everything ends up in a gift shop. Everything ends up as something you can buy. And that's fine. I'm not knocking. We all love the Disney merch. We always are running to see what the new thing is. It's like some kind of crack addiction. You're like, yes, they got the new whatever it is. And then it's sitting at home, you never looked at it, but you still love the fact that you bought it.
Yeah.
So I feel like with these kind of add-ons, I know we got onto a thing with this stuff, but it's like, I feel like it only makes sense. And they're doing like a $60 billion expansion to all the stuff through the Disney parks and everything. And I'm like, you can't spare this for it. I'm telling you right now, this project is less than a $50 million project. And it's a drop in the bucket to 60 billion. So put it that way. And then also staffing wise, you have things where you have performers, you have people that want to get to work, you have people that want to do things, and you can really get some quality entertainment in there.
I feel like you could build that there for $1 million. The building's already there. It's
no, what I'm saying is all said and done, technologies, all this stuff, because you'd have to figure out things, you'd have to go through planning for oodle-ollies. So you could say most of those things are probably like, somebody could spend $25+ million to do stuff. There's things like that cost hundreds of millions of dollars, like Flight of Passage, when they do these kind of things. It's like obviously a lot different, but just like one ride.
Yeah.
But I would think, especially for this, that they could get it done, but the recoup on that at spending 70, my average family of being $100+ a check, average family being well over that, probably $300+ a check for each family, and it being a grand banquet hall. You're like, you have a lot of people in there rotating at once.
You do seating. So you're like we have an 11 o'clock seating for lunch and like a 3 o'clock seating. And then we have like a 6 o'clock. And
you got like, it's like a noon, it's like a noon, 3 o'clock and 6, like noon, 3, 6 or whatever.
And honestly, depending on because you could even tighten them up if you had like a 2 hour, like 2.5 hour, that leaves 2.5 hours for the actual experience. Most people don't want to spend
because it's
2.5 hours of their park day.
Yeah, because it's a production. And it's not an ongoing show that just doesn't stop and they filter people in like you come to see it. It's a start and finish show.
Yeah.
You go through and you'd have it where it's like 3 seatings. You have a ton of seats in there. It would seat like hundreds of people in each seating.
Right.
And you're like, well, that's a lot of money each day.
Oh, yeah.
Told you, get me in front of them. 5 minutes. It's all I need.
Well, on that note, going forward for this next year that starts March 27th, starts our next year of Bring Back the Magic, right?
Yeah.
What are some goals that you have or things that you just like to see? It doesn't matter if it's a pipe dream. It doesn't matter.
The growing of community.
For us.
For us. It's like saying growing our reach in what we do is a big goal for me, so we can get out to more people and make more friends.
Yeah.
It's not so much about like how many views something gets. It's just saying I'd love to interact with more people that share the same love and passion of Disney we do and have that. I love our current friends. I will always love our current friends, but I love making more friends. Yeah. So it's like it's to me, that is my why. I'm like, why are you doing this? Because I love finding people that love the same things I do. And when you can have that conversation, it becomes effortless with people and you're not caught up in anything else. Everybody we've ever talked to in this community, it's been so easy because you're all part of it. Nobody feels awkward or weird around anybody because they're like, we all love the same stuff. So it's like, we've known each other forever. Mm-hmm. So that's a goal for me. Obviously finding a way to, I don't know, like even improve more things with the podcast or different outlets we put it or different things we make in conjunction with it, whether it's merchandising, stuff like that. That's the things I love because it's my passion to do things like that.
It's exciting too, to see the things that have become kind of like common speak, like the people who know what a challenge coin is. Mm-hmm. And they're like, not that we invented challenge coins, obviously, but it's like, oh, cast member appreciation coin. Like the people just know what that is. And that's become like, something well-known to a degree, because the thing is social media limits like your reach anyway. It's like they're only showing you the same people, and that's totally fine. Like we said, we love our audience. But then things like wet spaghetti, like how many people will write us and they're like, oh my God, I've got some wet spaghetti for you. I've got some wet spaghetti. Like, I love that. Or like, the jokes in the beginning about like chicken parm, you're like an OG big Bring Back the Magic fan. Yeah. If you know what that is.
Randomness.
But, jokes about things like that is the best feeling because that is what kind of drives community and whether Josh and I get to be 1 million subscribers one day, like it truly does mean something to us to have these individual relationships with people. We show up on other people's podcasts and we're never like, well, how many following do they have? Or this, we're like, oh, thank you so much for inviting us. We'll be there. We can't do all of them necessarily. Like we still have friends that we want to be on their podcast and just scheduling hasn't worked out for us, but we will do it. We want to see other people grow. I love it when I see one of our friends be like, oh, I've reached this many. We're never like, well, why not us? Obviously you want to know like what the secret sauce is when someone hits a big growth spurt, but we want to be excited for them because we know our time will come and we know it's all within the plan and whatnot. I would love to see us get to a place in the next year. I'm putting big dreams out there. I would love to see something, to be invited to something by Disney, or I would love that. I would love, a big one for me and Josh is we would love to be invited on a Disney cruise because I feel like we put out hardcore the vibes of how much we love a Disney cruise. And I'd love for people, not that they can't without, us doing it on our own. We do
She'll
share.
be on the Disney Imagination. It's the invisible ship over here. Yes, we got you first class accommodations.
I would like to be on the Disney Invitation. Please. That's the ship I would like to be on.
Go ahead, finish what
but I was just going to say, that's a big goal for me. I would love to see that happen. I would love to see us get some, more, it was exciting to have, some really fun guests on Brunch Back the Magic, and I'm not gauging them based on how well known they are, whether it was friends of ours through the Disney community, or whether it was people from Disney like Ken Bruce, or whether it was
I don't care whether it got 14 views or 14,000.
Or whether it was Jackson Olsen being willing to be on our show and talk about, his love of Disney. Like there's so many people. We have other people lined up. We just have to schedule it. But it's exciting. It's exciting because it's not about necessarily, it is exciting to feel like it lends a little validity to what we're doing, but it's even more so exciting. We just love talking about Disney to people. So when it's
we just love talking in general. Both of us can't shut up, so it's great.
And I'm okay with that. But those are some things that I would like to see happen.
Well, I think it makes sense. And going with that, I want to put because I have a thing for this, our shout out section. Okay, so shouting out. I want to give a shout out to all of our family. And our actual family. I mean, our Disney family is our family too, but our actual family for standing by us and being there for us throughout this entire process, for supporting us and knowing that what it meant to us and everything, and kind of giving us, nudges along the way saying, yeah, I love this, especially our mother, top of the list. She is our biggest fan, and I'll have it no other way. I love her dearly, and there's nobody on this planet.
Asleep during an episode.
Yes, even if it just knocks her cold, it doesn't matter. That old windbag is my favorite. I love her.
You, Mommy.
But it's like it goes that from our mom to our sisters. Our sisters have been supportive to our immediate family. Your son, my daughter, my wife, all the people that are in our lives. Our father.
Our brother.
Yeah, our brother. Everybody in there.
Yeah.
It's been so supportive of us and saying, you guys are doing what you love, and we do really appreciate them. And just so shout out to you guys because we couldn't love you any more than we do.
It does make it more exciting. I want to add a real quick shout out. I mentioned briefly before.
I didn't approve said shout out.
Fine.
Okay.
But Disney Magic Every Day also owns the account Tinker Magic Every Day.
This I approve.
In fact, these earrings I am wearing were a gift from her, these little sparkly Mickey Mouse ears. But Sarah across the pond, I could get emotional. I'm so excited for her that she has started this new podcast. So we really want to encourage everybody to go check it out, Magic Every Day. She is a delight. Her voice is very calming, very opposite of ours, but very soothing. And
she is a jolly good fellow.
Yeah, she does love Disney, and I'm excited to finally get to meet her in person in September. But
Tell me
I just want to give a shout out to her because she has been a tremendous supporter of ours all along. She's been on a podcast.
We love you, Sarah.
Yeah. And just fantastic.
Yeah, wonderful person, wonderful family.
I also want to say happy anniversary again to Disney Trip Report podcast.
Yes.
Derek and Maddie.
Yes, Derek and Maddie. Thank you for being our friends.
Also,
Thank you
Yoho Daddio just had his 1 year Instagram anniversary.
Yes,
So
Jason.
many people we love. And again, if we didn't name you all, I could be sitting here all day. I could be like Ashley, Jake and Ashley, I could just be like shooting at Disneyverse. Like I could just be shouting out names all day. We love you guys.
You're like, I don't want to forget anybody. Then you never leave.
I'm going to be kicking myself later because it's like.
Exactly. There's so many people. Just know that if we've interacted with you at any point during this podcast, we appreciate you and love you like nobody's business.
And
okay.
I also want to say thank you to you for all the work that you put into this. I
feel
can't
like you
imagine
should.
doing this with anybody else. I love my siblings. I feel like I could host podcasts about other topics and we could all talk Disney. We had Missy on an episode.
Yeah.
But like you and I doing this, we've always had a very like twinsies relationship growing up, like 3 years apart, but everyone always, assumed we were twins. And I love doing this with you. It's fun. I appreciate all the hard work you put into the, getting it all fine tuned up to load up to everything. I know the frustration that comes with it. You do all the technical stuff. And I want you to know how much I appreciate
I
you.
appreciate it. And likewise to you. I appreciate everything you've done, taking care of the social media, making us make friends. Because without Gina, we wouldn't have a reach to anyone because she built our social media. I just go and press record. That's my job and try to design some things. But I do appreciate you. Thank you for being you and as lovely as you are. With that being said, Gina, tell them where they can find us right quick.
Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, as you know, like, subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, follow, drop your comments. But if you're not currently on the podcast and you want to know where to find us the rest of the time, we are very active on social media. We are at BBT Magic Podcast. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We do have a Facebook page if you still use that. We have a website that Josh has built that we are working on building up. Bring Back the Magic Podcast is the easiest way to remember it. And also check out our Shopify because we're adding some new products.
And pardon me for the wrong buttons I've hit during this whole thing because there was an ad for somebody that came up. There was things that didn't make sense.
So get your challenge coins there through our Shopify account. So if you want to be part of the magical movement, that's how you can do it.
Absolutely. And shout out and thank you to our show sponsor here for this episode. It is Kaufman and Lynn Injury Attorneys. Again, if you're in the Orlando area or surrounding areas and you're looking for a great injury attorney, give them a call at 407-500-JEFF, and that's 407-500-5333, or you can go to whenyouneedus.com. They are, again, one of our sponsors for our Festival of Friends, and we are very happy to have them. Seriously, if you're looking for somebody great, make sure you turn to them. Gina, thank you for a wonderful episode. Thank you for being you. And I'm just stalling here because I can't find a button. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, happy anniversary.
There's also
to
that.
you. Happy anniversary.
Happy to you. And thank you. And you know what, everybody? Thank you for joining us. Please watch your head and step as you exit the podcast, and we will see you next time.
Bring back the magic for all to see. Together we'll discover all the joy and glow. In every story, there's a little bit of gold. Join our podcast adventure, let the magic unfold.